All right. So
Are we gonna go for our bush babies now?
yeah, let's go for the bush babies. Nicole.
There are names that could have been chosen there that were not that, and I wish they had been.
So you.
I could have gone worse.
Yes, you could have.
You come up from the south. So who peels right? Who peels left?
I'll take right.
All right. So you're going up the eastern side, going east, and then sort of going around. And the two of you are planning to meet at the northern top of the village.
Yeah.
Great.
Okay, for sure.
So then go ahead and make me an insight observation test. As you sort of like move through the trees of the village, you notice that you barely have to move carefully or stealthily. Nobody looks up from whatever they're doing. Their eyes are firmly planted directly on their work.
Wow.
Down.
Do we both make that roll?
Down.
No, this is just for Nicole. Your situation is different.
Awesome.
That is 3 successes.
All right, 3 successes. This is
Good job.
a difficulty 1, just to get some additional information. So you're juicing that pool up to a 5.
JTP.
And so as you move to the eastern side, you can see that the large building has an older woman in front of it who is... what was she doing?
Killing.
Crocheting.
Hopefully not at the same time.
She's tending to a pair of elderly goats.
Not eldritch goats.
Not elders. And there's like smoke coming from their horns. No. There's an old lady who is tending to a pair of elderly goats in front of what looks like a large sort of common building. There's an open interior space with tables and so on. The doors are open. There's a fire inside that's already made and just seems to be that one woman. As you continue on to the east and then peel towards the north, you see mostly abandoned or darkened homes along the outer edge, and then a couple of people working in the farms. You pass by a hut that is clearly marked with a number of runic charms and fetishes, completely dark. With your success, you do see that one of the windows has been broken. And you don't see much in the way of damage in this village, except for this one hut, which is set outside of the village, and you note that the shutters have been sort of broken apart. And then you come around to the top into some, like, really overgrown, kind of soggy fields. A light rain is starting to drizzle by this point. Get that hood up.
Yes.
Yes, hood.
That hut looks rather suspiciously like it's got a magic person in it, or used to have a magic person in it.
Definitely.
Can I just look in one of the windows and see if there's a body?
There is the body of an older woman lying face down on the floor.
I kind of like...
Does
You're
she have
playing a
wallet?
thief.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, technically I'm playing a rebel, but you don't kill magic folks and not have consequences.
Catti knows enough about magic to know that you don't fuck with it. It's druids are really powerful where she comes from, and you do what they say and leave their stuff alone.
I love that. I love the suspicion.
Yeah.
Not suspicion, superstition. I love it.
Yes.
This is on point.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the Britain sign of, like, warding off evil would be. I'm not actually sure what that would be for the Britons.
It'd be Celtic at this
Yeah.
point. I would assume that it's some sort of hand gesture.
Yeah, I make that and I, like, back out of there. I'm not stealing from a witch. No, no, no. That's crazy people talk.
You do have sense.
Merrick
like
would
it.
punish you for it, so.
Oh,
Yes.
definitely.
I mean, Meric
dollars
is currently
and
playing
cents.
all of the gods, who, yes, I fully anticipate would punish me from stealing from, I don't know if this is a holy person or a witch. The point is, power here, don't take anything.
Yeah.
Back away, not today, crazy lady.
Yep.
All right. Is there anything else that you wanted to do, or do we move to Arnulf?
We can move to Arnulf.
Can you do more stuff?
Why?
I feel like mine's not gonna be great.
You took the wrong side, my friend.
I didn't get to choose, Nicole said.
Nicole is smart.
What have you got
I
against
thought I
left?
was going right.
All right.
Sorry.
Arnulf, could you please make me an agility stealth test?
Cool.
It is opposed.
I do have the focus in sneak. Does that apply?
Absolutely, it does.
That's great news for me.
Sneak a snack.
I am 100% going to spend our thick pool. I'm going to spend one to get an extra d20.
The pool that drops down to 4 in the pool.
Okay. A ghost was here once. I got 4 successes.
Ooh, I got 2. So you still generate 2 momentum, filling the pool up to 6.
Meric, you're never going to see him. He's the son of Legolas and Strider.
My daddies
Canon.
are really sneaky. One of them's the king of Gondor, and the other one's the prince of the elves.
Of Mirkwood.
Of specifically Mirkwood.
Yeah,
The wood
just yeah, someone else. Even though he's
mean,
not
they're
a
super
wood elf.
He is not. He is a high elf, yeah.
He and his dad are like, we're just gonna rule you little plebeians.
All right, let's not diverge on that, guys.
Yeah,
Let's
that
not
could
get
be
on
a-
that tangent.
So, you continue through the trees, moving along the outside of the village. You find that most of the homes are dark or abandoned when there isn't a field nearby it. As you sort of curve up towards the northern area, you pass through the trees behind a large farmstead with a manor home larger than any other building that you have so far seen, as well as an outbuilding that looks like a barn. It actually would be open, and at this point you'd be able to see into it and see a number of animals. However, one thing that you immediately note is that there are patrols of hooded figures walking the perimeter of the farm. As you sort of move into this area, you see a pair of hooded figures looking into the woods and then moving on, quietly speaking to each other. They have not noticed you.
When you say hooded, are they like in robes like cultists would be, or are they just people who are wearing hoods?
Oh, heck yeah, they're full cult robes.
They look real suspicious.
What
They
color?
don't stick.
Yeah. What color? It's a brown that looks as if it is stained, but the stains might in fact be intentionally added.
What boring cult robes. Boo. Not to you.
Yeah,
Boo to them for
boo.
being poor
I don't
villains.
boo them. I don't boo them.
Boo them as loud as you can, Arnulf.
I don't. No. I'm very quiet.
No, yell
like-
some.
What is that booing from the forest?
The forest is angry with us.
Throw some shade from the bushes. I'm sure it'll be fine.
I'll leave a note in their pockets that says, and they pull it out and they're like, boo.
Spend 2 momentum and you can... No.
Just 2? Yeah.
We got it. I mean, I'd love to. I'm not going to.
Is
Not
there
an Arnulf.
Are there any
Oh,
other
wait.
details that you would like to determine? Yeah, Jen, go ahead first.
It's not important. I was just going to say, when you finally end up shooting one with an arrow, stick a note on the arrow first that says your robes suck.
No, it's. I'm gonna try and shoot it through their head comically, so that the scroll unravels and it says "boo" on it.
And so they're
Love
like,
that.
they're standing looking at each other, and it shoots through, and it rolls down, and the other cultist reads "boo."
And the one guy goes, "What?" I would like to, if possible, ascertain how many of these nefarious ne'er-do-wells are wandering this property.
Yeah, absolutely. Are you looking for how many patrols there are, or are you trying to determine the amount of people entirely?
If possible, if like watching for a while from the woods, I'd like to determine as many people as I can. Like differentiate patrols and people walking the. I assume there's people like around the manor house doing nefarious stuff.
Not so far that you can see.
Okay.
So I'm going to call this 2 rolls. It's going to be a difficulty 1 to figure out the patrols. If you want to know the number of people that are likely in the manor house and or the barn, then you're going to need to get a little bit closer. You're going to need to peek into windows. You're going to need to do sort of stuff like that. And it's going to be more of like a difficulty 3.
Gross. And what test would you call that?
For the patrols, it would be an insight, either observation or tactics. And then for looking into the building, it would be more of an insight observation or a reason observation.
Is it possible to do both?
Yeah. It'll
would
just mean that you're going to be late to meet with Catti.
Okay. I am okay with that because I think it's important to gain as much info here as possible. Seems like the hive
All right.
of whatever.
Buzz.
Yeah. So the first one to ascertain patrols. You said it was
Yeah.
difficulty 1. Insight
Difficulty 1.
observation.
Insight observation or insight tactics.
Okay, I'm way better at observation. Would sight apply?
Yes.
Beautiful news.
And at this point, a light rain starts to fall. It's not obscuring your view at this point, but if it gets heavier, it will.
Perfect. 2 successes on the first one to ascertain patrols, which I believe we cannot have any more momentum. So.
Yeah, so you could spend 1 immediately to obtain additional information.
I will
So-
do that.
Sweet.
First, you can see that there are 2 patrols of 2.
Perfect.
So the 1 patrol that you noticed before, and a second patrol. They are not like perfectly in sync, but they are definitely both patrolling the grounds, total of 4. With your obtain information, is there a specific question you'd like to ask that isn't about the number of people inside the buildings?
I would like to know where they're patrolling, like sort of get a... Like when people patrol, they tend to stick to a routine because it's easy to repeat. I'm guessing these people are not like hardened soldiers, but I'm assuming they stick to some sort of vague routine of we circle this place, something happens kind of thing.
Yeah, absolutely right. You have determined that these are not professionals. These are possibly villagers, possibly local militia, and they are following a very specific route, each pair, and you're easily able to figure that out to the point where if you need to sneak through them and you're leading people, you'll reduce the difficulty of everybody's thing.
Cool. And then I'm going to try and do one of these. Like a cartoon.
Perfect. So there are a number of windows. There is a large door at the front of the building, and there is a small door at the back of the building. You sneak up, and you begin to sort of look in. You can go ahead and make that insight or reason observation test.
I will spend 1 momentum
Yeah.
to add an additional die. And you said it was difficulty 3 to...
Difficulty 3, so your pool
To
goes
leave the
to 5.
Does sight still apply?
Yes.
Beautiful. That is 5 successes.
Dang.
Yeah, I have observation 4
Oof. And here I
and
was
insight
like,
11.
here I was like, okay, so we could succeed at a cost.
No, I look at stuff real well.
Okay.
It's one of my things I do the best.
So you generate 2 additional momentum, which means we fill the pool again. You have 1 floating momentum that can't be saved. You spend enough time sort of ducking from window to window, and you are able to see on the western side of the building there is it's sleeping quarters. You can see a number of men and women in like small cots sleeping fitfully. Well, let's start with a larger bedroom first. There is
I feel like Nicole's gonna kill us every time she looks down.
She's joined the cult. So the western side of the building is like one large sleeping area. There is an area on the top on the northern side that's been sectioned off, and there's like a separate room for somebody there. It is currently unoccupied. You move down the building and you see this larger sleeping area with a couple of people in it sleeping fitfully and moving, like rolling on their beds. We're going to get to the numbers soon because you can see through a doorway into a large common area where there are people sort of talking and eating and drinking and so on. But crouched above the head of one of the sleeping figures is a malformed looking bird creature. It looks a little bit like a crow, but its beak is slightly off center. Its wings are tattered. Its body looks twisted, and it seems to just kind of sway back and forth and occasionally shiver. And the body beneath this creature rolls fitfully as if having a terrible nightmare. Patrick, you are going to need to roll a will plus resilience for Arnulf.
Oh God. Oh, I'm good at that. Did you say the creature was on the person's head or like above it?
Like crouching
Head of the
above
bed?
the head. Yeah.
Okay. Like on
Like-
the bed, kind of.
Yeah, they're not really in beds. They're in like sleeping pallets. And so it's just kind of above and like,
Weirdly watching.
yeah, oh yeah.
Is it doing the weird bird thing? It's regurgitating bad dreams onto them?
Aw, that's how she feeds her babies.
All right.
You know
it
what's
is a
great?
Baby nightmares.
Will plus resilience difficulty 2.
Where
Okay,
are
I'm
babies?
gonna spend another momentum to. I can do that, right? That's even on.
Yeah. So our pool is currently filled at 6, but you still have the floating momentum that we're going to roll back to. This is just something that needs to be done immediately. So yeah.
Okay. Ooh, 3 successes.
Jeez. Okay. So
Natural
you generate.
1, baby.
All right. So you generate another momentum. You're able to sort of resist this horrible, strange, almost spectral creature now that you look a little bit closer at it, and it's not fully real. You still have your floating momentum. At this point, you can estimate from the number of pallets and the amount of activity in the large central room that there's about a dozen men and women in this building. Now, you have your floating momentum for unobtained information if you'd like to ask a question.
Kill them all.
Can I kill them all with one arrow, just through like as everyone lines up?
Real
Your
Yondo
men in
style.
tights. Robin
Zondu
Hood.
style, yeah.
I'll spend all 6.
Yondu, yeah.
While looking there through at all these people, can I spot someone who looks like they are being paid deference?
Yeah, that's a great spend, and you can see that there is a large, powerfully built woman who is sort of commanding the center area of this mead hall, and she
Muscle mommy showdown, muscle mommy showdown. Let's go.
and she is like calling for people to do things, and they're rushing to help her. She points, and like somebody comes out of the kitchen, and you can see that it's like a villager who does not is like terrified of all of these people, and like gives them some food, and then scurries back to the kitchen at the back of the building.
So it looks like these people are not of this village. They look like they are perhaps outsiders.
No, it does look like they are part of the village.
But they're
it's
just
that-
separate in that they have some sort of worship, and they're like in the joys of a small village where it's like you're part of a clique and you're cooler.
Yeah.
Just
Bonjour.
this is 100% for Jen and the characters that we are currently playing. When Arnulf sees that bird creature, he makes the sign of the fang of the she-wolf in the air to protect him.
You're the best brother.
All right. Is there anything else that you want to do, or do you go and?
I'll sneak off and meet up with Catti.
All right.
And then I say, "Let's get out of here."
So
Sucks.
we'll check in with Catti. Do you? Arnulf is taking longer than expected. Do you go looking for him, or do you stay and wait? Or do you head back to the others? What do you do?
I would probably go looking for him, but in like I'm going to predict what route he probably took and try to do it backwards.
Okay.
And if he's not there, then oh well, I guess he's dead.
Fair, really.
I couldn't have like turned around and gone another way. He's dead.
All right.
Dead.
Go ahead and make an insight tactics or an insight stealth. That would also work.
We're gonna go with insight stealth.
And we'll call it a difficulty 2.
I love the
Sorry,
idea of us
husband.
both being so stealthy that we pass each other
Pass each other.
and don't realize it.
You're so stealthy.
There's also 6 momentum in the pool if you'd like to spend
Yeah,
one.
I was just thinking.
It never ends.
I mean, yeah, okay, I'll spend one just in
Yeah,
case.
do it.
You're just gonna get it back.
Yeah, exactly.
never
infinite
find each other
stealthing.
again.
Okay, so 2 successes
Great.
and a complication.
Even better. Would you like a complication, or would you like to add 2 to my threat, bringing me to 10?
Nicole, roll less good.
Catti, you know what you must do.
I'm sorry.
Haha.
Yeah, complications are always more fun.
Okay. And so you continue sort of westward, heading in the direction that you would assume Arnulf is coming, and the two of you catch sight of each other. You a little bit closer into the village, Arnulf a little bit further out. And then you hear a shout as 2 figures in robes point and say, "Who goes there?" And we create a new truth, which is called "The Cult is Wary."
High alert.
Yeah. It's easy for you to slip away, or you can respond, whatever
No.
you'd like to do.
No. He's like, I'm like, I dive behind a house.
Catti just makes like the noise of winds.
Must have been the wind.
Must have been the wind. So
Yeah. No, she's definitely not going to answer. She's got, yeah. No.
okay. So the two of you meet up, the cult will likely be on alert for the next hour or two.